Alan, what does this coronavirus pandemic mean for those very hard-fought gains that the Trump team made with the China trade war?
Michelle, you're absolutely right that concerns have been voiced about China's ability to meet its Phase 1 trade deal pledges, and not just because of this current coronavirus outbreak, but because China, even beforehand, had showed signs of dramatically slowing growth. And so we've actually had Treasury Secretary Mnuchin a few weeks ago saying, well, you know, we're sort of prepared for the possibility that China won't be able to meet those promises, at least not right away. We've heard Senator Charles Grassley, the Republican from Iowa, who's been very upset with Trump's general China trade policies because of his concern for the American agricultural sector, which definitely took some hits from the so-called China trade war. But what's fascinating is we haven't heard any requests for any reprieve whatever from China itself. So I don't know why anybody on the American side would be showing any interest in offering China an excuse. That is for letting them off the hook. When they make that request, maybe we can cross that bridge when we come to it, although it's also very important to understand that China's ability to keep these promises has really nothing to do with the level of economic demand in China or other standard economic factors, because China is not a free market economy, it's a command economy. And China can buy all the wheat, et cetera, and automobiles and machine tools that it's promised to, and if there are not enough Chinese consumers for these goods, they can put them in warehouses, and that's all Americans should really care about.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that there has been no formal request from the Chinese to reduce the tariffs. Well, look, Alan, the Trump administration has long been making the point, though, that the U.S. is too dependent on China, and this coronavirus outbreak is enforcing that point. It's crystallizing it, certainly with regards to the U.S. pharmaceutical industry, if nothing else, and its reliance on China. So do you anticipate this whole coronavirus outbreak being a giant wake-up call to U.S. companies as well as multinationals?
It's certainly been a wake-up call to the American people. It's certainly been a wake-up call to members of Congress. It's even been something of a wake-up call to the Trump administration, because the president himself a couple of days ago said when he entered office he had no idea, and of course he was a strong critic of offshoring to China, of all those policies that encourage the flight of manufacturing, production, and jobs to China. He said he had no idea how much of the pharmaceutical supply chain had migrated over to China over the last 10, 15, 20 years. And I have no doubt that there are going to be some very serious efforts made, probably through some combination of trade policy, tax incentives, et cetera, to lure not only the production of final pharmaceutical products back to the U.S., but the production of their chemical ingredients, which is where China's greatest strength so far lies.
All right.